Hey y'all, can we let the panelists in?
Lindsay, who are the panelists?
Brianna, Cecilia, Tori, Breland.
Hold on. I'm gonna make you a Kindle host. Just a second.
Hi, y'all.
Hey.
You said Brianna McKay. Who else?
Tori Purvey.
Tori Furby. Okay.
Cecilia Tulis.
Would that be Cece? Okay.
Tori Breland. I don't know Breland's last name.
I don't see a Breland.
And Michaela Burkett.
Okay, I have Michaela. Okay, I've given y'all so y'all can let people in now. You should be able to.
Okay, morning, y'all.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I see Bree, Michaela, Tori, Cece, I think Breland, we're missing him. Thank y'all for coming on. Y'all have the questions and all of that good stuff. So as soon as I see Breland, we are going to go ahead. Like I said, very conversational. We just want y'all to give your real experience. And I'll start it off by having you all introduce yourselves, and then we'll go from there. Do y'all have any questions for me?
No.
No.
Thank you all for participating in this. We really appreciate it.
And if all possible, try to make sure that your screens are on too. Michaela, let me make sure that your sound is working correctly. Can you say something back?
Yes. I just put it on mute. Can you hear me?
Yep. Okay, you're good. Tori, can I hear yours real quick?
Yes, hello.
Wonderful. Bree, I think I heard you, but just in case, can you say something again?
Yes, good morning.
Okay, and then Cece.
Hello.
All right. Okay, so when they start letting the students in, then I know there's like a welcome. While they're doing that, I'm gonna see what is going on with the other panelists from Oklahoma State, and then we'll go from there. So I'm gonna go off screen real quick, and then we'll get started. But Kendall, if you wanna start the other part,
yeah. I'll let everybody in and then we'll get started. Okay. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
We'll give everybody about another minute or so to get logged in before we start. All right, we will go ahead and get started. I think everybody is on the call now. So just good morning. I'm Kendall Peterson, for those of you that don't know. Just thank you all so much for joining the call this morning. We are going to talk about applying and testing for college today. And so we are very excited about the information that we're going to present today. We have a panelist of recent college students. Some of them may still be in college, some of them recently graduated, and they're just going to give you some real life experience tips on what they kind of went through on their journey to get into college. So before we do that, I just want to talk to the CAP students that are on the call. And I just want to make sure that everyone has had a chance to connect with their mentor. If you have not yet, just unmute yourself and just let us know really quick, because we want to make note of that so we can get you guys connected.
I haven't.
Maya, okay. Thank you, Maya. We'll figure it out after the call and I'll connect with you. Anybody else? Okay, so I guess everybody else is good. So has anyone else had an opportunity to complete the search for their colleges and kind of pick out their top 3 to 4 college choices? Any of the seniors or juniors? No? Nobody has? Javon, were you going to say something?
I mean, I kind of know. Yeah, I mean, I have.
You have? Okay. Awesome. Anybody else?
I have.
Kristen, awesome. So Javon and Kristen, what are your top school choices?
Mine are OSU, Rose State College, UCO, OCU, and OCCC.
Awesome. What about you, Kristen?
My number 1 is North Carolina A&T. Number 2 is FAMU, Florida A&M University. Number 3 is Jackson State, which is in Mississippi. And then I guess I could say number 4 is OSU.
Awesome. One of my really good friends graduated from North Carolina A&T. So let me know if you have any questions. Okay, and can we get the CAP students to turn on their cameras? We want to see your faces, please. Okay, so we will go ahead and jump into the panelist discussion. Lindsay, you can take it from here.
Good morning, everyone. How are y'all? Head nods.
Good
Sleepy
morning.
if you're still sleepy. I get it. I get it. We are going to jump into this panel discussion. As Kendall said, you have, well, first let me say, you have a great group of current college students. And these students are they vary from attending HBCUs in the state of Oklahoma, outside of the state of Oklahoma, predominantly white institutions that are either regional institutions or research institutions within the state. So we're super excited. These students are involved, they are knowledgeable, and they're excited to share their knowledge with you all. Each one of them have their own individual stories, their whys, their testing, all of that. So we want to make sure that even though they're going to talk about testing, we truly wanted them to talk about what it really is like being in school. How that is when it comes to, like I said, testing, student involvement, the social life. Let's be real. There is a social life in college. And I want you all to realize that this is something that happens in college. It is, I used to tell my students all the time, it's about that balance. So they're going to be able to talk about that. So without any further ado, I am going to just go from who I see on the screen and get them to introduce themselves, and then we'll start asking some questions. Please, like, if you all have questions, we want you to ask those questions too. We'll make sure that we set some time up towards the end, but if you have some questions that you want to know in the chat, put them in there. I think I'm young, I think I'm hip, but the truth is really not. So these students are the ones that truly, truly know. I've been in higher education for close to 15 years. So I'm fortunate to be around such wonderful students like these students in particular. But if I'm not asking the questions that you all want to know, I want you all to ask. So I will just start by calling their names out, and if the panelists, if you can say what year you are, what institution you went to, and then we'll go from there. So Bree, will you start first?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, everybody. My name is Brianna McKay, and I am a junior at the illustrious Prairie View A&M University. And I'm an education major as well.
Thank you. Bree, can you also say where you're from, where you graduated high school from?
Yes, I'm originally from Okmulgee, Oklahoma, but I graduated high school from Bixby High School.
Thank you. Michaela?
Good morning. My name is Michaela Burchett. I am a high school graduate of Mid-Valley High School, and I attend the University of Central Oklahoma, and I graduate in December the 12th. Yeah. December 12th.
Thank you, Michaela. Cece?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Cecily Tellis, but I do go by Cece. I'm a graduating senior from the University of Oklahoma. I graduate December 18th, so it's coming up. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and my major right now is public health with a minor in health and exercise science.
Thank you. Tori?
Good morning. My name is Tori Purvis II, and I go to Dear Langston University, where I am a senior music education major, expecting to graduate in fall of 2021. And I went to high school. I'm from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I went to high school at Classen SAS.
Thank you, Tori. And Breland?
What's up? I'm Breland Stewart. I go to Oklahoma State University. I'm double majoring in management and marketing. And I'm from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and I went to Dale City High School.
All right. So as you can see, we have there various, all over Oklahoma.
Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
One more.
Oh, I'm sorry.
My name is Erin Allen.
Erin,
Hello,
I'm sorry.
And I go to Fisk University. I'm a freshman. I graduated from Millwood High School. I'm a biology major. And yeah.
Thank you, Erin. Now, where'd you go to high school again? I'm sorry, baby.
Millwood High School.
Millwood Falcons. All right. All right. So we have some amazing panelists, like I said, that can truly tell you what the experience is and so forth. So we're going to go ahead and get started on it. I'm going to allow, we can do this like popcorn. So if you have any questions or anything like that, please, not questions, I'm sorry. Anyone can answer this on the panel. Just answer it as you may. So the first question I have is, can you tell us about your high school experience and how that helped you get into college?
Okay, I'll start. Okay, so like I said, I went to Bixby High School, and it was a predominantly white high school. And my high school experience was fun, but not many of the students looked like me. And so I had a hard time, I feel like, feeling like I belonged there. So, which really made me want to choose an HBCU for the next 4 years of college. And like I said, it was fun. It was okay at times. At times, I did feel like there was a lot of controversy when it came to race. I do feel like there were a lot of things that my high school should have talked about more when it came down to race. Because there were I probably could count on my hand how many African-American students went to my high school. So it was really hard at times, but I made it work for as long as I could. And after graduating, I knew that an HBCU was for me. I had to go to an HBCU. I miss being around people who looked like me, who shared the same experience as me, who went through the same things as me, people that I could communicate with that understood me.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Nah, you good. My high school experience was pretty good, to be honest. I went to the second most diverse high school in Oklahoma City. Dale City was the second most diverse to Booker T, and I loved it. Like I had an Asian best friend, an Indian best friend, like black friends, white friends. I really loved it, and I was big on like leadership and Stuco. I also did sports and stuff, but leadership is really what got me to college. My advisor, she knew a whole bunch of other leadership advisors, and that same year, the Stillwater leadership advisor had transferred to OSU, and then he was promoted and named the head of the Center of Ethical Leadership here at OSU. So I was named the state president for student councils in high school, and they held a little workshop with us, and we had partnered together. And long story short, he really liked, everything that I did to the conference and what I did in high school general, and he immediately offered me the scholarship, and they just started sending me so much stuff in the mail. OSU was like, I really want you. And I feel like no other university was like, dang, I really want you. And I just had orange in my mail every single day. So I was like, I got a scholarship, and they're telling me like they really want me. They're sending me like suckers. They're sending me like happy birthday, a whole bunch of stuff that just make me feel good. So I feel like that's how high school got me to college.
CC?
Yes. So I kind of had like a dichotomy of experiences when it came to high school. Traditionally, so freshman and sophomore year, I went to Edmond Santa Fe High School in Edmond, Oklahoma. And the high school, I think overall is very diverse, but there's kind of pockets of racial groups within the high school. And a lot of times I did find myself with people who did not look like me just because of like the curriculum and the way things are set up. And then I transferred into John Marshall High School, where I graduated from junior and senior year. So in that respect, I learned a lot about what it means to not be tokenized in a space, what it means to be around people who are going to support you and have the same experiences as you. And so matriculating to OU, I kind of got to synthesize both of those experiences and learning how to work with people who don't look like me, because if you go to a predominantly white institution, like that's going to be something that you're charged with. A lot of people have different ideologies. A lot of people come from a range of different ethnic backgrounds and spaces. So a lot of people from OU I know come from small towns where they're not going to see a Black person every day or have to interact with a Black person every day. But within that, I was also able to find the Black community at OU, which is very supportive, a lot of social support. And honestly, the reason why I can say that I'm graduating from OU today. So it's really about learning how to work your experiences to work for you and to work for your education.
Thank you.
I can go next. I went to Classen School of Advanced Studies in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. My experience, I would say, was fine. So I started off elementary from kindergarten to 7th at Millwood, and then I transferred to Classen SAS in the 8th grade, and that's where I graduated from. I would say that that transfer was good for me because it did give me an extra push academically, I would say, but it definitely pushed me musically because that helped me with my music education degree and getting that done. I would say it was a few Black students there. It was mostly Asian students though. So, and the students there, like their parents were pretty liberal, so to say that. So I felt they were pretty accepting. So I didn't really feel any like backlash on that end over that. They were pretty accepting. I had plenty of friends of different races. So yeah, but I'll say it prepared me academically and musically for that extra push that I needed for college.
Erin or Michaela?
Okay. I went to Millwood High School, and I think no matter what high school you go to, I think it's about what you do to make the best experience for you, and just doing what you feel like you love as far as being in high school. Like if you like to play sports, be the best at that, you know. If you like leadership, for me, I was in a band since for my whole high school experience. And I also did a lot of leadership. I was student council president, and I was class president, and yearbook editor, et cetera, et cetera. So it's just about being involved and making the best out of whatever circumstance that you're in, whatever high school you're at, everything. So I think that's how I was able to prepare myself for college, because a lot of things that I've learned in high school apply to college. Like, I didn't realize, being a freshman, I didn't realize how many things transfer and how many of the lessons that you learn in high school help you to go to college. So that's what I would say about just getting into college. I think as far as me being in band, that really helped me in college, because I'm in the band in college now. So yeah, that being the best at what you know how to do and making the best of everything that you do is a way to prepare yourself.
Yeah. Kayla?
I am definitely going to agree. So for me, what I found to be very helpful is just networking. And a lot of that comes with like your teachers or your professors. So like in high school, it's kind of lame. Oh, you're cool with the teachers or the principals and different stuff like that. But they can oftentimes get you into a lot of different situations, positions that you wouldn't normally be able to get into. And I feel like that transferred a lot for me in college, like kind of carrying that over. Just because they can give you a different insight on things, are more willing to help you. And I'll also say to get involved. So that kind of relates back to that. I danced in high school. And so that's kind of how I picked my university, because I wanted to be a part of a dance team there, which I did prom in high school. And then when I went to UCO, I found a Black majorette team that they had started there, and it kind of gave me a population that I was more comfortable being in, and different experiences that I wanted to try. And it also helped me get connected to the Black population on campus. So I would just say, like they said too, like find something that you love, network, get to know as many people, as you can, and they can like help make your experience a lot better.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, let's go into a topic that gives some people anxiety, and that is the standardized test that you take prior to getting in college. Now, I'm gonna be completely transparent with you all. I remember the first time I took the ACT, I made my age, which was a 15. And I was like, well, we got a long way to go for this. And then when I finally made that 19, I was like, boom, I'm done. I'm not taking it anymore. I can get into whatever institution that I was going to go into. But that was, oh goodness, that was well over 20 years ago, y'all. So things have changed a little bit. Can you all tell about your testing experiences? I'm not asking you what your test scores were, because I think that's a whole nother subject, but can you tell about your testing experiences and what that requirement was to get into your institution? And anyone can go.
I can go first on this one. This was kind of personal for me. I only took the ACT, I think, one time, and I got an 18 on it. So my process with getting into UCO, so I did cosmetology. So I went to a trade school while I was in high school, which exempted me from math and science for 2 years. So that's a big part of the ACT. So I didn't really have any classes on that. So it made me kind of struggle. I did get the benefits of having my license while I was in college, but I had to give that up. So I actually went in the summer before and tested out. It was for reading science. I tested out of my reading one with like a 93 because I knew I could read. I was like, I don't know why I got that. But my math class, I really struggled in because I didn't have it for 2 years. So I tested out of the reading, and I had to take in college, they're called like 0 level courses. For that, I would just say a good thing for me was they have a thing called Rate My Professor. So when you start college, definitely use that. And it gives you like rating scores of other students who have been through your program and gives you like the best professor. You can find professors that are lecture based or discussion based, whichever you feel like you best learn with. And it'll help you just pretty much sort through your classes a lot easier. I would say it was kind of when you're looking at it, it's kind of like a downfall, but like, you know, your capabilities. That's what I had to realize. I know even though I didn't do that good on my ACT score, that didn't mean I wasn't capable of graduating college. So it's just kind of just to stay focused. As long as you are, I mean, if you're accepted, you're accepted. After that, you just gotta do the work just like everybody else. It may take you a little bit more time, but it's definitely still doable. So it's my experience. Because I do graduate, you can graduate with get in college, graduate with the 18. Like after you're done, everything that you did in high school, once you're done, like college is a different experience. It's a fresh slate. Like it's your opportunity to, you know, kind of start over. So
I can go next. So my high school was they were pretty smart. So I went to school with a couple of people that got perfect scores on the ACT. I definitely did not get a perfect score, got much lower than them. But to piggyback off what she said, if you get the ACT score to at least get into where you're going, after you get into college, it's really a fresh slate and all that stuff in high school. Not that it doesn't matter, but doesn't matter as much. And you can start over, say, if you don't think you did that well in high school, but if you still got into school, you'll be able to do fine. The ACT, I would say I'm not that good of a test taker because I can take notes and pay attention in class. But once we get into that situation of sitting in the desks, and I don't know if it's just like the silence or what, but it kind of throws me off. But I would just try to focus, and it helps studying before. So yes, studying does actually help with work and doing tests like that. So that's all I'd have to say.
I'll go next. So yeah, like with the ACT, I don't know if OKCPS really still does this, but I know that for myself, like I tested multiple times. We actually used to have like ACT days, like where they would be like, you guys are taking the ACT on this day, like come prepared, but they would tell us like a week before. But so I started learning how to, I got myself an ACT book so I can study. So if they tell us the week before, I would have already studied. So I think I took it like 3 or 4 times. And I think what's different about the ACT compared to like tests, like other tests that you guys have probably taken in high school, is that this is your first test, like where they're trying to see, like help you to synthesize the information that you learned, because that's how tests are in college. Like they're not looking for a straight answer. Like they're trying to make you think about the material and like really apply it in a real situation. So I think that like once you get like the rhythm of the test, like know what they're looking for, it becomes easier. Also, I would say like your testing environment probably does have something to do with it, because I took the ACT like I think 3-ish times, and my highest score was when I actually went to a different school and like didn't know the people I was with, like wasn't distracted, like I was really locked in on the test. So it could have something to do with that as well. And also like this is just like a note to like anyone, like I struggle with testing anxiety as well. Like it gets my heart racing. Like I don't know why, like I think it's just like a me versus me thing. But like once you learn how to deal with that, like test taking does become easier, because like testing doesn't stop. It happens in college. And like I said, they're looking to see if you know how to synthesize the information. And so like once you start dealing with that and like learn techniques how to deal with that, it does become easier. And you know, past that, I'm getting ready to practice for my GRE. So now it gets easier with time, but I would just say like take it as many times as you can, take it in different locations and just see like what your results are. But once you're in, you're in.
Okay, I'll go. So like I said, I attend Prairie View A&M, which is out of state. It's in Texas. And so I took my ACT 8 times because I really, really, really wanted to get an academic scholarship to attend Prairie View A&M. Because if I didn't, I would be paying out of school tuition or out of state tuition. And that is very, very expensive. So I knew that in order to get a merit scholarship, a merit academic scholarship at Prairie View A&M, I had to score at least a 23 on my ACT. And I was really close. At first, I kept getting the same score over and over again. So I was extremely determined to make sure I got that 23 to get a merit academic scholarship to attend Prairie View A&M. I did a lot of studying outside of school. My school, they did give us a couple of prep courses throughout the year to take to prepare for our ACTs. I would take those courses, and then I also had a friend in high school who got like a perfect score on the ACT, and she started helping me. We would go to the library like once a week. She would help me, tutor me, and give me a lot of different strategies and techniques that I should know, and that I should apply to the ACT when I was taking it. And eventually I finally got the 23 on the ACT, and I was able to receive the Distinguished Merit Scholarship here at Prairie View. And it comes with a out-of-state fee waiver. So I only pay in-state tuition, and it's a partial scholarship. So I really don't owe too much to Prairie View, thankfully. And yeah, I would just say, you know, take the ACT as many times as you can to get where you need to be. If you're trying to get scholarships, take the ACT so many times. Like I said, I took it 8 times, and that's a lot. So I just made sure that I put in the work, the study time, the time outside of school to make sure that I got to where I needed to be to receive that scholarship. And not only did that help me get other scholars or help me get scholarships from Prairie View, it helped me get other scholarships outside of Prairie View. I received a scholarship from my high school. I received scholarships just outside of high school and the university that I attend. So I would just make sure that you're putting in all the time, the effort, studying, and getting to where you need to be, especially if you're trying to receive scholarships and financial aid. Definitely take the ACT as many times as you can.
Okay, I'll go. I'm trying to take myself back because I'm trying to think about what's relatable towards a high school. You know, like for me in high school, taking the ACT, I feel like it was stressful because it's like you want to do great, and sometimes there's like different levels to the ACT. You know, you have your location, like that was really big for me because I took my ACT at like 3 different places, and I found that I liked one place better. You know, I just felt more comfortable at that one location, and I did the best there. And then also like learning how to study. Like people always say study, 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 but when you actually learn how to study, then it helps a lot as well. And then I would say just like, okay, I said studying. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. But also when it comes to just taking it, I think that once you take it multiple times, you kind of get the gist of what exactly they're asking for. It kind of gets a little bit familiar to you. And I think that helps as well. I don't know if you guys talk about the SAT, but I took the SAT a few times as well. But yeah, that's pretty much just learning how to study, like learning how to study, going to camps. That's what I was going to say. I went to a few like preparatory camps for ACT, and that really helped as well. Just going through and having somebody who is really like a professional who knows what they expect and knows how to break down certain topics or like certain categories in the ACT, because I know a lot of people might struggle with the math. Like for me, that was the part of the test that I really struggled with, was just math in general. But yeah, camps, learning how to study, picking the location that you feel most comfortable at, and yeah.
And one thing with that too, and I don't know how it is now with COVID during the pandemic, but colleges and universities have what's also called, or they used to, residual ACT. So you can do residual testing at that institution. It's a much smaller interaction, but the thing is, say for instance, you made a 19 on your test, and then you went to, I'll say my alma mater, UCL, and took the residual ACT, and you made a 29. Celebration, yay. And you're like, oh, I got a 29. I'm gonna now go to Hampton University. They'll be like, haha, no, you're not, because your residual test scoring stays at the institution that you test at. always say, if you know where you want to go, then you might want to look at the residual, but that test scoring stays there at that institution and cannot be transferred. So that's that. One of the things that you all just mentioned was scholarships and financial aid and so forth. Can a couple of you all think about, I know Bree talked about some of the scholarships that she's received, as well as Breland. Can some of you all speak to filling out the financial aid process, if you receive financial aid, or scholarship process went? Can you all discuss that?
Yeah, I got it. Honestly, mine was kind of a breeze because our high school offered to guide us through it. They offered like a FAFSA night, and our parents came, we came, and I learned how to do my own FAFSA from there. So that was very beneficial because I didn't know anything about FAFSA at all. So I got that, and I also got a couple other scholarships because my advisor, if you guys didn't know, the Oklahoma City Community Foundation, they are huge. Like any type of like they have scholarships for all type of people, disabilities. If your parents have certain accommodations that they need, like they have so many different scholarships. And my high school counselor at the time, she just made me apply. Like she was counseling a lot of Black males because she was a Black counselor. And most of the people that she counseled were like the football boys and the basketball boys. So they all really thought that, you know, they were gonna go for D1. They were gonna go D1 for athletics, or they were gonna go JUCO or whatever. So I ended up being like the only person to apply to half of these scholarships. If you guys look it up, like a lot of Black males do not apply for scholarships, and the money just goes back to the scholarship donors' pockets because nobody applied. So I had about, I say 5 or 6 scholarships that I got just because I applied. You know, I write good essays too, don't get me wrong, but I really think that there wasn't a lot of competition because a lot of people don't apply for these scholarships. So if you don't think like you have a chance, like a lot of these scholarships, they're a page, they're 2 pages. They're just telling you what's a story about this. And it's very easy. Like that got me here, and it's getting my college paid for. So I really recommend you guys look up the Oklahoma City Community Foundation, because that's how I got most of my scholarships. And they're fat scholarships too. Like it's not like $500, but anything helps. But I definitely recommend you guys do that. And if you guys also need help on your FAFSA, I know that my college, we offer high schoolers like a little kind of like technology it's like a little Zoom call, but it was before COVID, and they could get on with us and with other college advisors, and they would just guide them through the whole process instead of them having to come all the way to Stillwater to learn how to do their FAFSA. So, yep.
Thank you. Anyone else want to share? And it doesn't necessarily have to be academic scholarships. It could be scholarships with your organizations, anything like that. Band, choir.
I'll just say really quick, since I already kind of talked about my scholarships, I'll just say that make sure that you apply for any and every scholarship that you see. Even if you don't, if it says it's for education majors and you're not an education major, still apply for it. You never know. I just feel like, I know me personally, but before I went into college, the summer going into college, I took the whole entire summer just applying for scholarships, writing essays, all of that, just making sure that I was putting myself out there as far as scholarships and allowing my name to get out there into these scholarships so that I can, hopefully win one. But yeah, just apply to as many scholarships as you can. It will never hurt you. And like Breland kind of said, it doesn't matter about the amount. It could be $500, it could be $200. Every little penny counts when you're in college. So apply to as many scholarships as you can.
I'll say like really briefly for OU specifically, like once you get into college, like, well, before you get to college, like I would suggest looking for scholarships that are like over like a couple of years, because I know like some scholarships, like, okay, we're going to help you for like this semester, like that semester. The scholarship that I received was actually, I had to keep my GPA up above a certain level, and it renewed every year. So I was able to have that every year of my college experience. And I know like when it comes to FAFSA and stuff, like I was able to receive like the full amount, but I know like some people, like the income levels and stuff, they're crazy. Like it's kind of hard in that respect. So once you get into school, I would suggest you going and like kind of getting to know the people that work in the financial aid office. I actually was able to get in contact with like the president of my financial aid office, and I came in there and I was like, look, man, like my parents, like they can only help so much. Like I'm really struggling. I want to be here, but like I'm going to end up taking my money somewhere else. And you know, that federal money, colleges want that federal money. So I'm like, can you help me? And he like, basically like there's money all over these campuses. They just don't advertise it. And he started pulling money from here, pulling money from there. And I was able to get my freshman year paid off in full. So like make those connections. It is really about networking. And other than that, like if you're coming to OU specifically, we have actually a scholarship hub for the students that currently go there. So each year you can go into Cash, it's called Cash, and you can find out scholarships for like pertaining to your college or major, just different things. And it's just one centralized scholarship hub. And generally the application, like you write like 2 or 3 essays, and as soon as you write those essays, it applies to all the scholarships that you're eligible for. So that's another thing. When you're writing scholarship essays, it's worth to just write like a few of them, because generally most scholarship application questions are the same. It's like, why did you choose your major? What do you want to do with it? X, Y, and Z. And so just having like that general baseline scholarship essay that you can kind of modify depending on what they want is also a good tip.
Thank you. Okay, so let's move on to something that I remember, even though it was 20 years ago, and that was that first week on campus. So me being from a very small town, coming to the big city of Edmond, I remember stepping on campus that first week, and it was just, you saw everybody and their mamas. Well, not their mamas, but you saw everybody on campus. You saw all different types of student organizations. You saw people walking around, even though it was hot, in their line jackets and all that stuff. You saw the choir, you just saw everything. So can you all speak to what your first week on campus looked like? And I know some of these might be different because of different school sizes and predominantly white institutions and historically Black colleges and universities, but I'm so interested in to know what it was that you all saw and felt your first week of college.
All right, I'll start with this one. So with me going to Langston, I've had at least 5 family members that went to Langston. So Langston is not a foreign place to me. So yeah, I used to go all the time for homecoming. So I know what the campus looks like, and it's nothing new to me. And also, since I was in band, my first week was just with the other band freshmen. So we had band camp the first 2 weeks. So it was just us on campus. So we didn't even get to do all this other stuff that the other freshmen did because we were in the band room and outside working out and stuff. But the first week of classes and stuff was fine. Just go, at least just go. That's really it. Just go to class. And you'll end up taking notes. You'll do better once you actually just get there. And how she's saying there's a social life, and the main thing is time management. You can have fun and do all this stuff with your friends and hang out, but also make sure you get your work done and get your homework done and take time out so you know when stuff is due. But the first week is fine. It's pretty exciting, and yeah, college is fun.
So let's have one more answer this question, because I know I want to ask 2 more questions before we end the panel.
I'll piggyback. So at my HBCU, the first week is usually freshman week. So the freshmen are the only people on campus besides like athletes and people in the band. The freshmen are the only people on campus, and we have a whole week dedicated to freshmen. It's called Panther Camp. And during Panther Camp, you have what we call PALs. which are basically upperclassmen who are there to help guide you, help you through your whole entire freshman year. They're with you the whole entire year. They come visit you. If you need to talk, you need help, they're there for you. They are the Panther Advisory Leaders. And every day is just something new. We're learning chants, we're learning our alma mater, we're learning history about our HBCU, we're learning different facts about our HBCU, and we're also learning about different tips and tricks that you should know while you're in college. And we're getting that advice from people who are in college and who are older than us, who have been through what we've been through, who have been in our shoes. And it's a lot of fun. It's so much fun. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was so much fun. And the freshmen, they actually stay in an area that is only for freshmen. It's called the University College. And there are only freshmen that live there. And I think there's like 8 buildings. There's 4 boy buildings, 4 girl buildings, and each building has a different number. So at the end of the week, you would have a building challenge where all the buildings come together on the football field and we do chants, we do dances. We're just excited, and we learn a dance, which is only for each graduating class. So I am PV 22, so we have a dance called the Shuffle, which is only for Prairie View A&M students who are graduating in 2022. And so anytime that song comes on, we do our dance, everybody's up, excited, and it's just a lot of fun. Panther Camp was an amazing experience, and if you want to come to Prairie View, I'm telling you, it's the place to be, I'm telling you.
All right, so some of the things that are very important is that you stay academically involved, of course, but you have that balance with extracurricular activities. Can a couple of you say things that you're involved in on campus currently?
Yeah, so I'm currently involved in the African American Student Association here on campus. We are a PWI, so being involved in Afro-Am gave me a big look at the Black community. Like our first meeting, I saw the Black community, everybody was super friendly because they see the freshman class and then they see who the new Black students are on campus, because you can literally kind of point them out. It's not a lot of us, so I love that. I'm also in President's Leadership Council. I'm a facilitator for it now. I was a member and I got the scholarship for it last year, and now I'm a facilitator for it. A lot of organizations, this is a side note, a lot of organizations, if you do it again, they'll give you the scholarship for it. That's at OSU anyway. And also, I'm in ILP and RISE. So ILP is Inclusive Leadership Program. We go to the high schools once a month and pick up the high schoolers, and they can plan like a kind of college/high school conference. We haven't got to do that due to COVID reasons, but we've been trying to cook something up anyway. And RISE is basically like just the other form of ILP, but it's for us college students. So it's teaching us time management. It's teaching us how to balance work, how to balance school, how to balance so many different things. So it's very beneficial to me, even though I'm just a sophomore. Like I still struggle studying a lot with time management a lot because I have a lot on my plate. So taking those different tips from different people is always beneficial to me.
Thank you. Anyone else want to share?
Oh,
Yeah.
go. Oh, sorry. Who else is that? Somebody else can go.
You can go. It's okay.
Okay. I was like, okay, I'll make it brief. So I also, I guess the OSU version, Afro-Am, here it's called BSA. So I'm involved with that. I've been involved with that since freshman year. So it's important to choose organizations that you can grow into as well, because like having that longevity looks great on a resume. And then also kind of spinning off of that, I was on a planning committee for the Big 12 Council on Black Student Government, which if you go to a PWI that's involved with the Big 12 or a surrounding school, you'll probably find out about that. And so that was fun, and it was a great resume builder. I work with PR, so like you can kind of tailor what you want to do professionally also with your organizations. And then another tidbit is to find an organization that actually has to do with like your major. So I'm public health. So I actually work with the OU Mock World Health Organization, which basically synthesizes like how it would be to be a public health professional in college. And so if you're going to go to like a grad program, whatever you are going to do after you end your time at your undergraduate institution. Yes, and I'm also, I was getting there, but so it's important to do that because school, you know, you want to be able to set yourself up for the best possible situation once you graduate. And I also am the current chapter president of the Kappa Psi chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
Anyone else?
I can go. I am a part of a dance team at the University of Central Oklahoma called Central Chaos. And so pretty much what that has done for me it's really helped me with time management. So like she was saying, longevity, a program that or an organization that you can find to where you can kind of fit in from the beginning of school all the way to the end like of your experience is really good for like just helping you remain focused and putting you around. If you can get in with a good group of people that can kind of help influence you in the right direction is really good. Also having something that is there that makes you focus, because our grades were very important for the dance team. You had to have a certain GPA. It just kind of helps you with time management, staying focused. I am also part of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. I joined, I've been in for a year, and that has also helped me with time management. I would say, like they were talking about your social life. So for me, in order to have fun, like your academics have to come first. And for me, like you're able to be more free when you take care of your business first. So if I put off my assignments until last minute, but I'm going to wherever I'm going, it's a lot, if you're focused on your grades, it's a lot harder to not think, well, dang, I still have to do this, or dang, this is last minute. So if you go ahead and you take care of your priorities first, you'll be able to I'm able to enjoy my sorority way more. I'm able to enjoy the different events that we perform at without having to go back and think the whole time on there, like, dang, Kayla, if you don't do this assignment, you're gonna be doing this because you put it off. So I would just say like prioritize your work, and so you can have fun and do that freely as much as possible, because college it's supposed to be an experience to where it's kind of like right before real life hits, you know, you're supposed to be able to, it's kind of like not your last go around, but you're supposed to be able to go out and enjoy it. Just make sure that you can fully enjoy it and not have to like reap the bad decisions, you know, that you made. So yeah.
Thank you. Tori, do you want to talk about what you're involved in?
Yes, I do. So me being a music education major, it is kind of obvious the stuff I'm involved in. I'm involved in band, and that is my main scholarship. So I am here for band. I play saxophone, here for music education. But in the Langston University Marching Pride, I am the head drum major this year and next year. I am also in choir, getting a scholarship from them. And I am a part of Kappa Kappa Psi National Honorary Band Fraternity Incorporated. That's 2 Ks in the Psi. So we just there to help the band, whatever the band needs. It's a few of us here now. And yeah, we're just here to help the band. These extracurricular do help me. I think they obviously help me with my major, with what I want to do, to show that I have experience in the things that I'm trying to do. So I do want to be a band director. With my music education degree. So yeah, those extracurriculars do help, but obviously, as they were saying, prioritize. Band is important, but if there was like a test or something that needed to be done, you would need to do that test first, because you're here to graduate. That's what you're going to college for. That's the mission.
Wonderful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to ask this last question. This is just a show of hands or so forth. Some people, I know I was one of them that thought that I wanted to live off campus my freshman year in college, and my parents did not give me an option. And I was so grateful for that. How many people live on campus? If you do, can you raise your hand? Or how many people have lived on campus? Let me ask that, your freshman year in college. Okay, I think that looks like everybody. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. If you all have any other questions, please put them in. Thank y'all so much. I know this is a panel that literally could go on and on and on, and I have so many questions still that I want to ask, but I know there's another speaker. So I appreciate you all coming and being a part. Erin, thank you for sharing that information about future scholarships. And if you all are looking at any of their institutions, please, please, please feel free to send them a direct message so they can get your information so they can continue this conversation. So yay, thank y'all again. Give them a round of applause, everyone, yay. With that, I'll turn it over to Kendall.
Yes, thank you guys so much. We really, really appreciate the information that you shared. We want to go ahead and transition to talking about applying for college. And so on the call today, we have Mr. Mark Vaughn. He is the Director of Admissions at Langston University. And so he is going to show you all the Langston University's website and kind of how you can apply for Langston.
Thank you guys very much for having me on this morning. I just found out about this last night, but that's okay. My name is Mark Vaughn, as Young Lady said. I am the Assistant Director of Admissions at Langston University. I'm a proud member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. We, at Langston University, I met some of you guys at different high schools. I see some of the students at Langston on this call. Mr. Purvey is one. So I see you guys on here. It's real easy. The steps to take to get into Langston is really easy. You have to have a 2.4 grade point average to be admitted into our university. It's an unweighted GPA. We ask for a test score, either ACT or SAT. It does not matter what the score is. All you have to have is a score. You apply to the university. It's always free to apply to our university. The website to apply is langston.edu/apply. Apply, have your counselor send us an unofficial high school transcript. As long as you have a 2.4 grade point average, you will be accepted conditionally to our university. Now that word conditionally means that if you drop below that 2.4, we have the right to rescind your acceptance email, okay? Once you apply, you'll get an email saying that you've been conditionally accepted. Sometime later on next semester, you receive a next step email. In that next step email are a list of enrollment dates. You sign up for an enrollment date. As of right now, it may be on Zoom again. We did Zoom last year, but normally you will come to campus on your particular enrollment date. You'll meet with different department heads. They will explain, like the office of the registrar, the cafeteria, the police department, University College. They'll explain to you and your parents what that department, how that department can assist you on your matriculation through Langston University. Once you do that, you will register for your classes, get your student ID card, and you'll be pretty much done until you move in. If you wait until you move in to get your classes, the lines will be long and it will be hot outside. So my suggestion is to get everything done as quickly as possible during the summer. And once again, just to, apply to our university. It's free. Get us an unofficial high school transcript. If you have taken the test, your ACT or SAT, send us your scores and we'll get you accepted. But you do not need test scores to get accepted. But you will need test scores to be admitted to the university. The word admitted is to get your classes. We did not ask for test scores last year because of COVID, and it's still up in the air about for fall 21. We haven't decided yet about fall 21. So if you have taken the test, submit your test scores. We do give residual ACT tests on our campus. And I think somebody explained residual ACT to you guys. If you take the residual at Langston University, that test is only good for Langston University's campus. You cannot use that UCO, OCU, Oklahoma Christian, anywhere else. That test is only good for our campus. So if you can take the national, you can use that test anywhere, okay? Are there any questions for me? Any questions for me? I'm gonna put my email address in the chat box. So when you get off of here, you ask yourself, I should have asked that question, email me, and we'll be glad to answer any questions you may have about the Langston University, okay? Any other questions?
Well, thank you, Mark. We really appreciate you taking the time out this morning to address our students.
Not a problem. I just dropped my email address in the chat box. So email me if you have any other questions. All right. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you. Okay, so we do want to challenge all of the CAP participants on the call to apply to Langston University. So if you are able to apply to Langston, please do so within this next week. And when you apply, send me an email letting me know that you have applied. We are providing a small token of appreciation for applying to Langston. It's not a commitment to attend Langston, but we want you to practice applying and we want you to go ahead and submit the applications to Langston. For those that do apply to Langston, we are going to pick maybe 1 or 2 individuals and give you all a voucher to submit an application for the Common Black College application. I know one of the panelists probably mentioned the Common App. So there's 2 different sites. There's a Common App website where you can apply to over 900 institutions through one website. Now there's also a Common College Black application, which you can apply to 59 HBCUs. Now Langston is not one of those. So we want you to go ahead and apply to Langston outside of that. But if you do apply to Langston, we're going to reward 1 or 2 people with a $20 reward for you to use for the Common College Black application process. And what that is, like I said, you go onto that website, it's commonblackcollegeapp.com. You pay just $20 and your application goes out to those 59 universities that are HBCUs. Now you will have to identify your top 4 before you apply, and it'll submit the application there. They'll make a decision on the top 4. If you have additionals that you're really interested in, you may need to follow up with that school by telephone. Another step that has to take place is that your counselor will have to upload your official transcripts through the website. So if you need help with that, if you're not one of the winners, but you still want to submit your application on that website, just let us know, let your mentor know. We can definitely help you with that. And so it's noon, I can hear the sirens going off. So we are going to go ahead and wrap up the call for today. And again, I just want to say thank you all so much for attending the call today. If you have any questions, you need any help with applying, or if you have any questions about testing, please reach out to us. You can drop a note in the GroupMe, or you can reach out to your mentor. Does anybody have any questions before we end the call? Okay, and so I also want to wish everybody a very happy Thanksgiving, a very Merry Christmas. We will not meet again until February, I believe. So we want you to stay in contact with your mentors during this break. If you learn of any information that's helpful to share with the group, feel free to add it in the GroupMe. And again, just have a wonderful, wonderful holiday season. And we'll see you next year.